Hello Internet, welcome back. Today I want to talk about why I chose to go into consulting. I've mentioned in my previous video that I am unemployed now and I'm in between jobs. And the job that I'm about to start is in consulting. It's in a big four firm. I don't think I can say which one because that's what people tend to do online. They just say big four firm and then you kind of have to guess which one of the four. But I'm going into one of them. So as an initial video to introduce the topic of consulting onto my channel, I want to tell you why I chose to apply there and why I hope that I can enjoy it. So a quick backstory, if you're not familiar with my background, I went to LSE to do my undergrad in politics and economics and I graduated in 2018. Then I did a master's in creative and collaborative enterprise at UCL, graduating in 2019. And then after that, the timings coincided so luckily for me that I had the opportunity to work with the Bollywood company where I did my classes. And I worked there up until apocalypse happened. And I was genuinely really enjoying that job. It was varied, it involved practical stuff, but also some admin stuff inevitably. And it was such a good mixture of everything. I was in love with doing it, but pandemic had other plans. So when that happened, because I was on a freelance basis, my hours dropped and I had to look for something else. And during the pandemic, I found another job, which was in the art therapy field, and it was within marketing and events as well. And both of those teams were amazing. I loved the people, and I think I was so lucky to just have amazing colleagues throughout my time. But a couple of years into my work life and after graduation, I realized that I need something more stable and more solid. I think I was a bit lost, to be honest, and I had my moment of quarter-life crisising. And consulting was one of the obvious things on the radar. And I just thought that, you know what, I might as well try and give it a go, which is probably the opposite way from what people at LSE usually do, at least based on stereotype. Usually people go into huge corporate firms first, and then they're miserable and then they leave kind of thing. I think for me, it happened in the reverse direction. I tried the non-profit world and also the being self-employed world and the arts, and I loved it, but I feel like I just need a more stable and solid foundation, primarily financially, if I'm completely honest, but also in terms of the doors that will be open for me after I work in a big four, because obviously even having the name of your CV is an advantage. And I think after that, I will be able to have more options for different ranges of salaries and also different industries, hopefully. So that's my backstory. But I want to dive into why I think that I might enjoy it. Number one is the variety of industries you get to know. And if you know about consulting, you tend to work across different industries and across different capabilities. And then depending on where your career takes you and where you take it, you can specialize in one of those things. But initially, when you start as an analyst, which is what I'll be doing, I'll be studying on a graduate scheme. You can work on projects that are in all sorts of industries, and that way you get to know what you like and what you don't like. And for me, I know that I really enjoy learning about the behind the scenes of businesses, and that's something that I really enjoyed in the events jobs. It's learning how experiences are created, learning how events are created. I think I can extrapolate that from events to consulting, I'm hoping at least, and I think that might be one of the elements that I enjoy. Following on from that, number two is the project-based nature of your work, and I think that is nice because you kind of have the point where you finish a project and then you just park that and then you move on. That's a very different way of working from what I was doing before in my last marketing job, because there my work would kind of just be never ending and there would always be something that I have to do on a regular basis that will just be there all the time. But I feel like with a project-based way of working, you are seeing a particular goal to work towards, and I think that's nice because you kind of have the end in sight and then you know that you'll be moving on to something else. And especially if you're doing something you're not enjoying completely, you know that you'll have a fairly different project after that. So I hope that that's something I will like as well. Reason number three is people, and a lot of them, because as I'm finding out in the past few years, I am an introvert, but I'm also very sociable. So I think what I really wanted in my work life is meeting people and building connections that are friendly in addition to being work-based. And I've been, as I said, super lucky with my colleagues before. I would really enjoy having more people to meet and just having more opportunities to be social. Obviously, when you are in a big four firm, it's a lot of people to meet, and that can go to the extreme of being overwhelmed by all the networking you have to do. But the bright side of that is that you have so many opportunities to meet people that you click with. And so far, the people that I have met in the onboarding calls and the interview when I did it, I really enjoyed speaking to those people. And I have a feeling, and I hope I'm right, that the people that I will be working with, I will get on with them fairly well. Number 4 is fairly obvious. It's salary and benefits. And that is very important to me because I previously have been in the industries where the salary is not amazing. And I think that at the point where I'm at, a couple of years into working, I want to be more stable. I want to start saving. I want to be in a position where I'm finally staying stably on my 2 feet, and then I can start actually fully adulting, because I think it's time, feels right to do that now. Number 5 follows on from the backstory that I've told you, and is that this will be very different from everything that I've done before. I've actually never tried working in a big corporate firm, and as weird as that sounds, I am curious. I know that a lot of people have a very bad opinion of the corporate world, and I'm sure that there are good and bad things to everything, but I think I am curious to the point where I want to give it a go, and I want to take the risk of just seeing if it's right for me or not. If it's not right, I know that I can always change jobs. I know that I can always move on, do something else. And I think because consulting has been on my radar for so long, it's kind of getting to the point where I've been having a dilemma of, I really don't know if I'm going to be super miserable there, or if it's actually going to be a good step for me and it's going to feel right and it'll be a good experience. And I was trying to decide what my heart is telling me. Do I want to go into there? Do I not want to go into there? Then I thought that maybe if I do, I'll feel like I'm making a huge mistake. And if I don't, I'll forever stay curious about what if. So I just decided that, you know what, it's probably time to just do it, and then I will know. And a final number 6 is actually the fact that during my interview, I had such a good feeling from the person that I was speaking to, and she was a director in my department that I applied to, and she was lovely. I genuinely came out of that interview feeling that, oh my god, I would actually love to be your friend. And it just had a good time. And I did not expect to have a good time during an interview. It was definitely not on my list of expectations whatsoever. I was very nervous, but we had such a good chat. It was very conversational, and I just felt really relieved. So I just have a good feeling about this place. I hope that checks out in the future. I hope I'm not wrong. I think it also depends a lot on your department within the firm that you're applying to. So yeah, we'll see if that is true, if that ends up being how I actually feel there. I also want to mention quickly a few things that I'm worried about. And they're the things that have been on my mind and stopping me from applying for the longest time. Those are the things that cause me the dilemma of whether I even want to go into this or not. One is whether I'll be able to keep my side hustles going. One is YouTube, the other one is dance. But I'm really keen to keep that up. And my other main worry is mental health. I'm hoping that mental health is more important to firms now. And I've heard things like some UK firms trialing the 4-day work week, and that's very exciting to me. And then I've also heard some good stories of managers taking care of their analysts and saying that you don't have to reply now if it's outside of your working hours. But I've also heard some horror stories. I've heard some bad experiences. It's really hit and miss. I think it's just something that I'll have to try and see how it goes. That's my overview of why I applied to consulting and some reasons why I think I might enjoy it, and also some of the worries that I have about starting working there. I'm obviously gonna make more videos when I do start and tell you how it's going, how I'm finding it, whether these things were true or not true. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and if you have questions, let me know in the comments. Please like this video because it does help me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.